Mimi Good afternoon and welcome to Ask KEBS, an online platform that allows you as our customers to understand the mandate of KEBS and how you can interact with us. My name is Caroline Otogweno and I'm your host. In this episode, we are trying to answer the question, how can we as a community, as a society, inculcate a culture of quality within our communities and in our organizations? To help us answer these questions, I have with me Dr. Joyce Mokamba, who is the head of training services at the National Quality Institute. Karibu sana, Daktari.
Thank you so much, Carol.
So, Dr. Mokamba,
Yes.
we're going to spend a little time talking about the NQI today, the National Quality Institute,
Yes.
and what it does, why we created it as the Kenya Bureau of Standards, and how we can participate, how our customers can participate in ensuring that there's a culture of quality created in our community. So let's start with, when did the NQI start? When was it established?
Thank you, Carol, for that question. The National Quality Institute was established on 18th of February 2008, and it was launched the same year in July on 24th.
Okay, so you have a very interesting mission as an institute. Maybe you can tell us what it is and then explain to us what it means for us as Kenyans.
Thank you so much. Our vision and mission, we want to entrench the culture of quality, not only in KEBS, but in the country and worldwide.
Okay.
So we want to live that culture of quality.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, why is this important? Why is a culture of quality important for us as a society? Thank
you so much for that query. You can realize, Carol, that when something is done several times, the organization tends to lose a lot of resources. By maybe repeating the work if it was badly done or it was not well planned. So when we entrench the culture of quality, is that you do something right the first time. Okay. So in that process, you save on resources and you build your reputation.
Okay.
Yes.
So what you're saying is that the National Quality Institute was established to attempt to entrench a culture of quality within the society. Exactly. Now we're going to talk about, by the end of this session, we should know exactly how far you have gone. But before we get there, we would like to find out how do you intend, or how are you entrenching a culture of quality in the society?
In entrenching this culture of quality in the country, in the world, and in people, we are using different systems through our trainings. We have trainings where we train different systems, like can say ISO 9001, which is a quality management system, which we can say is like a backbone for all the rest. We also have ISO 22000, which deals with the food safety, to ensure that people get food, a food which is in good quality and which cannot harm them. Also, we have the one which deals with our environment, that is ISO 14000, to ensure that the environment is well maintained so that this quality is moving on without any interruption in our areas.
So I'm hearing ISO this, ISO that. What are these? What are these ISOs?
The ISOs, these are, we can see they are the systems which are trained to make the people equal. ISOs means equal. So that when the people are taken through ISO standards, because they are the standards, it means whatever is being trained here in Kenya, it is trained the whole of Africa, it is trained in the whole world. So the information we get here, we get it in Britain, we get it in anywhere else in the country. So it makes us to come into a platform where we are all equal worldwide.
Also, what
The
you're
information.
saying, so what you're saying is that ISO 9000, for instance, is a standard.
It's a standard, yes.
Okay, and
Yes.
so you provide training on the standard itself, or what type of training are you, when you say we are doing training on ISO 9001, for instance, what are you saying? What sort of training are we talking about?
Thank you so much for that query. When we are talking about ISO 9001, we are talking about giving the principles of quality that the organizations are to follow, so that whatever the processes in company A and company C, when you set out those operation procedures, they are speaking the same language, which can be understood by all, and they set the standards which can be followed, so that you can be able to achieve your objectives efficiently and effectively.
Okay, so that is when you're saying that's when you provide training for quality management.
Quality management systems.
All right, so so now we've talked about training. So
Yes,
I
yes.
suppose training is one of the services that are offered by the National Quality Institute.
Correct.
And training then is an important part of entrenching a culture of quality.
Yes.
People understand, people know.
Yes.
Can we talk about other services that are offered by the NQI?
Yeah, other services which we offer, we have services like cooperation and consultancy, where the institute cooperates with other organizations, so that as we entrench this culture of quality to reach a wider scope,
Okay.
so we are able to cooperate with others. We also have membership, so that as individuals and organizations, as they join to be members of the National Quality Institute, they are able to get many things that we are to offer. And in the process, because they are members, they take this culture of quality into their
Wherever they are.
organizations.
Okay. Any other services?
I've said we have also the Kenya Quality Award, where we deal with the small, medium enterprises, so that we are able to reach to the small person, and together with their services and their products, so that they can be able to be awarded. And in that process, they are able to grow from small, medium, and probably become large.
That's very interesting, and I think we must focus on that subject, on how we are helping SMEs, because really we've discovered during this COVID season that SMEs are the ones that drive the economy.
Correct.
So we will talk a little bit about it later, but I'd like us to talk about training. Let's go back to training for a little bit and look at how is it that we are offering the training services. Because I think training, if you're an organization that is seeking to entrench a culture of quality in the society, training forms a very important component
Correct.
of that mission. So let's talk about how is the training done. So we've talked about, I think you've given examples of trainings that you have, but how do you offer this service?
Okay, you can understand, Carol, that outside here we have very diverse organizations that are very dynamic, and because of that, we offer the trainings majorly in two categories. We have open course.
So explain. What
Yeah.
does open course mean?
We have open course. Then we have in-house trainings. And because of this COVID, we have added another one. We do it virtually. though we are also in the process of automating to have it a wider scope in the open, in the virtual, where we can have other people learning using their own time, where we can have properly recorded, and somebody can register on that platform and do it within a specified time.
Okay.
Yes.
So what does open course mean?
Exactly. When we are talking about open course, this is where, as a National Quality Institute, we have developed a program based on the number of systems or standards that we want to train the people. You remember I said we have ISO 27000, ISO 22000, all that list is wrong. So when we have prepared the program quarterly, because in our training, we train people from implementers, they do the auditing, they do maybe lead, which is leading them towards certification. So in that program, we have put in each quarter, the first month we put maybe an implementer, the second month we put the auditing, and the third month we put the lead auditor. So this program, where we have chosen the venue ourselves as an institute, and we have spread it within the country. At least we choose which county we have spread it all. So whoever is applying to come and be trained using the open course has to go as per our dates, which we have already indicated in the program.
Venue.
Yes, and the venue.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's open course. And what about in-house?
Yeah, the in-house one, this is where, because different organizations, they have different needs and different desires. So an organization may decide to train its own people, maybe in a large number. Our maximum class, by the way, is 20 persons. So if an organization has enough participants, so they tell us the venue they could want us to go and train. They give us the specific dates which is most preferred by them. So then we give them the quotation, they pay, and we train them on the dates they have chosen and the specific system that they could want to be trained.
Okay,
Yes.
so they are the ones who choose the place,
And
they are the ones who choose the dates,
Yes.
and you provide the facilitation.
Correct.
Okay, so that is open, and also then
That is in-house.
in-house. So
Yes.
there's open and there's in-house.
Correct.
So I think for the open course, because you said you do quarterly programs, how can I get the program?
The program is, we used to do before COVID, actually we do it biannually, which we do have here. Then we review depending on the demand, on the demand from the people, which we get from the feedback. But because of the situation in which we are now, because of COVID, we are renewing them quarterly, and we post them on the website.
So it's available on the website?
It is available on the website.
So if you could just tell people what's the website so that they would know where to go for the program.
Thank you. You go to www.kebs.org and you will find NQI, and you click there, you will land into our program, the training program, and even for membership.
All right, so we will talk about membership in a little bit, but before we go on, I'd like us to remind our customers that if you have any questions, please go onto Twitter using the hashtag AskKEBS. You can put your question there. You could also put your questions on the live feed for Facebook, and we will look at the questions in a short while, and we will be able to answer them as we go along. Dr. Mokamba?
Yes.
For the longest time, I think many people know about ISO 9001 certification.
Yes.
And sometimes when there are tenders that are floated, you have a lot of organizations who want to deal with suppliers that are ISO 9001 certified. I just want to know what place does the training on ISO 9001 have in the process of certification to ISO 9001? Because if I want to be certified to ISO 9001, must I be trained? And what sort of training do I need? If you could just take us through process, then we would understand where it is that the training falls in the process of certification, because certification is important.
Thank you so much, Carol. As you realized when we began, we said that where you asked why do we need this, and we said ISO, it puts us on the same platform. So to get your services have more demand to the world, you need to be certified. So people require that you get certified so that you create that confidence that your services are good. So for you to get certified, you must be trained to understand what are the requirements of this standard. Remember we said ISO 9001 is a standard which is giving us the standards that we need to follow. So you have to be trained. So we get organizations have their people trained. When they are trained, understand the requirement, and then apply that particular requirement on their services. Mm-hmm. In our trainings, as I've explained earlier, we have the implementers, where we are just going through the requirement of this particular standard. Then we have a level 2, where you need now to look at this requirement using the auditor's eye. If somebody has to come and audit you, your services, your system, your operations, they want to see what would they check to ensure that you are conforming to this particular requirement. That is what we call the auditing training. Mm-hmm. So after you have done that, it will enable you also on how to document your operations procedures. Mm-hmm. So you document them based on the requirement of that particular standard. So the training becomes pertinent. It becomes a key thing that you need to be trained first, mm-hmm. so that you know you apply those requirements, and then you implement it, and you audit yourself, and then finally now you apply for the certification.
Which means that it is an important part of the certification process.
Correct.
And so for organizations that want to go towards ISO 9001 certification, what you're saying is that they should consider, first training. Of all, coming for training.
For training.
Okay.
Sure.
We will talk about this a little more later when we will remind people where to get the training program from. But let's move to other services that are offered by NQI. And you talked about membership. So let's talk membership for a while. What is NQI membership? So what does that mean?
Okay, the NQI membership is voluntary. Uh-huh. It's a voluntary registration. Just as you could want to become a member of CQI, you may want to become a member
of Kenya Institute of Management.
Kenya Institute of Management. So it's a voluntary scheme. Uh-huh. In this voluntary scheme, we require that you give us, you see, us, we are bent to more of quality.
Okay, yeah, so it's for quality
It's
professionals.
for quality professionals. So we have categories of this membership. We have, I can talk about majorly about 5 of them. We have the highest called the fellow, where we have the people who have practiced in the quality sector, and they are awarded. So you award the people who have been practicing and working, and who have done a lot of contribution towards this quality. It could be writing books, writing articles, so they are awarded. Then we have the full member. A full member, this is where the professionals who have demonstrated through education, through their skills, and through training. Remember, like the trainings which we have talked about, then you apply on that same membership. We have affiliate training, we have affiliate, we have associate, and then we have the student or the clubs.
Okay,
Yes.
That's an interesting category.
Correct.
The one for students. Why students? Why are we asking students to be members of the NQI? How would it help us?
It's very interesting. Remember, our vision is to entrench quality
In the society.
in the society. And you see, they say if you want to have this quality, we must begin it from a very early age. So because of that, as a National Quality Institute, we would like to begin from the clubs, and then whether from schools and universities or other learning institutions. So when this quality begins, people begin doing right things right the first time from a very tender age, that means that we are going to have a country which has entrenched quality, and these many other things which we hear around may not arise. That's why we want to begin it from that.
So you have clubs in secondary schools or primary schools?
The clubs we are calling for clubs, whether it is primary, whether it's secondary or universities. So that is what we want to, though we have not, what now we want to do is how do we want now to reach to them so that they can be able to register.
So if a school administrator is watching this now,
yes,
and would like to set up a club, how would they contact you? A school or a university administrator, and they're thinking this is interesting and they want to set up a club in their school. How would they go about it?
Thank you so much. If there is any school, any institution of learning, and you could want to contact us to become a member of the National Quality Institute, you send your mail to NQI membership at KEBS, NQI membership at KEBS.org, and that mail will reach unto us and we will respond to you appropriately.
Now let's bring this down to the personal level. Are there opportunities for quality professionals in the industry, in the market? Do you sense that organizations need quality professionals? Because you're training a lot of people. How do you make sure that they are able to be used out there in the industry?
Thank you so much, Carol, for that query. So when we train the quality professionals, they will be absorbed because we train in different areas. We have those who become auditors. Okay. When they are trained and they become auditors, they can be used outside there for auditing the different quality systems. And those who have been trained on quality, they have grown a notch higher because the demand for them is higher outside there, since it is an international standard. So when they go out, the demand for them is higher than those who have not been trained. And since the National Quality Institute is a department under this Kenya Bureau of Standards, which is a member of the ISO So I want to believe that the people who have been trained by our National Quality Institute, their respect is higher outside there, even in their organizations where they are working.
So what I'm hearing you say, Dr. Mukamba, is that having training on quality management or on quality-related standards is actually good, looks good on your CV, on your curriculum vitae.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
exactly.
if you are going for an interview,
yes,
you would confidently say that I am trained in quality management system.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't imagine that there is any organization that is not interested in quality.
I don't think so, because when you have done this quality, you see, remembering that you are now doing your work right, you will use very little resources to achieve so much. Any organization would want to save every penny. So I am sure every organization will be so much interested to these quality matters.
Okay, and also in becoming a member of the institute.
Exactly.
So in order for us to get as many people becoming members as possible, could you tell us what are the benefits of becoming a member of the institute?
When you become a member of the institute, you are recognized. You know, there is that recognition, because we said before you become a member, you must have done the standards which are ISO, they are international. So by extension, you are internationally recognized. There are opportunities to interact, because we no matter how forums for members, the NQI members, and through those interactions, you learn a lot. You see, even the way we are communicating with you, I'm learning from you. So in that interaction, people learn a lot. And you see, when we are doing the workshops, when we have workshops and we have you as a member and we have your contacts, it is very easy to reach you and update you on what is going on. There is also discounted rates. Remember, we said we have so many trainings which we offer, but now when you are a member of the NQI, we give you that training at a discounted rate. There is also a free mailing of the newsletters. We do newsletters, and which is updating you on a continuous basis. So we email them to our members.
Perhaps Dr. Mukamba, you can allow me to share my favorite experiences as a member, as a full member of the NQI.
I'm happy to
I
hear
think
that.
one of the things I enjoy the most about being a member of NQI is the workshops and the meetings that we have. And I think the best part is to meet different people from different places.
Correct.
And to interact and to know what it is that they're doing, and to increase our knowledge with regard to quality matters and quality management systems. So I like that. So I think that's one of the things that you should continue to do. I like also the fact that you're now going East Africa, and that we are going to be doing workshops
the region.
Within the region.
Yes, yes.
I'd like to move to a question that has been asked here, which is very interesting. And it says that, can someone pay in installments to get this training? So somebody has accessed the training program that is now available on the website for April to June 2021 and is interested in the trainings, but pesa ni haba during COVID season. They want to know whether they can pay in installments.
It's a very interesting question. And we cannot say no, because pesa ni hapa, we also need money. What we can assure you is that you will pay, keep that evidence, we will retrain you when you pay the last installment.
Okay, that's interesting. Perhaps you could tell KEBS, because it's a gentleman called Clinton KEBS. Perhaps you could tell KEBS how it is that they can ask about the training of interest, because he has posted a picture of the training program, which means he's interested in some of the trainings. So perhaps you can tell him how to get in touch with you so that you can give information on the training of interest.
Thank you, KEBS. I had said it earlier. When you want to get in touch with us, you send your mail to nqi@kebs.org. nqi@kebs.org. And we will respond to you even now. If you send it now, even as we are continuing, the response will come back to you. Thank you.
I have another question. It's not really a question. It sounds more like a complaint from Mercy Wanja, who says that KEBS should take some of their employees to the NQI programs because they are unhappy about some of the services that are being offered by some of our employees. Perhaps we could ask, let Mercy know where to direct the complaint. So would you be able to tell Mercy where to send the complaint with regard to the people that she has interacted with that are, whose services are wanting? Maybe they can go to info@kebs.
Yeah.
.org. Yeah, so Mercy, if you could send your complaint to info@kebs.org and then provide as much detail as possible to allow those who are concerned with dealing with such complaints to know where to go and what to do.
And maybe I can say, Mercy, on behalf of KEBS, we want to apologize for that hiccup, probably which was not well done, and we have picked it up. We will liaise and work because we like doing the awareness to all our staff. Thank you.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about a specific training that has been of interest to many people, and that is the issue of food safety and training on food safety that leads to certification on food safety. So I just want to know who is the target market for food safety training? Who should be interested in training for food safety?
Carol, that is a very interesting question because food, everybody takes food and everybody requires good food. So the food safety, or majorly, we want all this, it could be the food industry. We have the food industry the food industry, we have even small and medium who also deal with food. We have Mamba Njugu Karanga, the person who is doing Njugu Karanga. We have even those who do even from small businesses to the big businesses, as long as it is touching on food, including the water we drink. So that person also
everyone,
is a target. Everybody
along
is
the
a target.
Okay.
Even you who is not doing any food production, we require people to also learn about the food safety principles, just also for your good.
Okay.
And even an organization, they make tea for their people. So they also need
food safety.
Food safety is important to all.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have talked about SMEs.
Yes.
And I'd like to know if there are any special programs that are offered or special subsidies that are offered for SMEs at the National Quality Institute.
That's a very good question, Carol. As I had explained earlier, because we want everybody to learn about these quality principles, we have, and we want to reach everybody in society, including the small and medium enterprises. We have the workshops where we have workshops either for a day or for 3 days. For a day, we do it free.
Okay.
We don't charge.
Okay.
So we have the people come attend some of those free workshops, and they are taken through whatever standard, either it is ISO 22000 or ISO 27 or ISO 9000. And then we have a 3-day. You see, the 1 day is just to give them an overview of the standard, and then the 3-day, then we charge them.
Okay.
Yes.
And do you charge them any
10,000.
different? Oh, so you charge them differently from other.
For the SMEs, we charge them differently from the others.
Ah, okay.
Yes, yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Very interesting question from James Kamau. James, you have indicated that you like the program, and thank you for participating, but you think that NQI should offer jobs also, because why train when you can't get a job? I'd like to ask James to tune in next Tuesday, because next Tuesday we will be talking to the Director for Human Resource and Administration, and she will be explaining to us what jobs are available, how to apply for jobs at the Kenya Bureau of Standards, and what we do with regard to training and development and other human resource matters. So I'm sure you will be with us next Tuesday, and we will talk a lot about how KEBS recruits and how you can be part of our family. Dr. Mokamba, you talked about collaborations.
Yes, yes.
So why are collaborations important? And who are you collaborating with at the moment, and for what purpose?
Thank you, Carol. Thank you for that question. Collaborations are good because we want to widen our scope. And as we reach many out there, so we are diversifying. For instance, we want now to have a professional body for quality practitioners.
Mm-hmm.
And for that effect, for instance, now we are cooperating with the CASNEP so that we can have the quality practitioners, the people who have been practicing quality out here, to continue rising in that area of quality into greater heights. Mm. Remember, you said that organizations, when they want to employ people who have done that quality, where can they get them so that they can pick them from that? So you envisage that there's a time when organizations, as they advertise for jobs, they say must be a member of the institute, or must be a recognized quality professional. Yes. Interesting. Yeah. How? Because now, like, we anticipate by end of this year, we are going to launch so that we can have the people. Were it not this corona, but still we are anticipating that by the end of this year, we could have had the first cohort who could have done the quality practitioners who could have done their first exam. Oh. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So you'll actively recruit people who are interested, can apply, and can be considered to be part of the... correct. We will recruit and then have the people trained and examined. Yes, yes. Okay. Yeah. Now, you talked a little bit about the quality award. Have we done with collaborations? Are there any others apart from CASNEB at the moment? For now, we have done only with CASNEB. Okay. Currently, that is the one which is ongoing. All right. Yes. Let's talk about the award, because there are lots of quality awards across the world.
And really, we need to have our own quality award. So how far are we as an institute to achieving a recognized quality award?
Okay, we are beginning to do it. We have things in place, and we are anticipating that in that quality award, when we are going to implement it, were it not that because of the coronavirus, that is when we have, for now, we were to launch it this year, but we are not going to do it because of, you can see online, and to launch it, we will launch it physically. So maybe after this, it has settled down, then we can go on with the plans. But majorly, we will want to see how the small and medium enterprises are doing their work. And then there is a criteria which we will use on how we will qualify them.
Okay.
Before we come to that award.
So the focus will be SMEs?
The focus will be SMEs.
And they will be competing against each other?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so...
Yes, and assessed.
And assessed?
Correct.
On site?
Okay, the assessment, of course, you have to be on site so that you can be able to verify. We could have both on site and off site.
Okay.
Yeah, and verify how they are doing their work.
What do you think would be a benefit of me as an SME? So when we do the announcement that there's going to be a Kenya Quality Award and it's for SMEs, why would you encourage an SME to participate in the award?
Excellent. When we are encouraging the SMEs to participate, you see, through participation, it will enable the SMEs to put up their socks. Probably where they were not doing right, they will strive to do what that requirement of the standard is. As they interact with others, remember we said through the interaction, they will learn from one another so that they will get the opportunity on which they will capitalize and also see their weaknesses which they will need to shed off. In that process, as they can move, you see, as they become better and better every day, their businesses or their services will get more recognized. That means they are going to increase in volume of their production, which will remove them from small or micro. They become small, they become medium, and we anticipate finally they will grow to become large organizations.
Okay, so that's why you're focusing on SMEs.
On SMEs.
So
that they can grow.
They can grow. So any SME that is interested in growing should participate in the Kenya Quality Awards.
Yes.
Is there anything that they should be doing now in preparation? Because I'm sure if they know what they should be doing, then they know that they have a better chance of succeeding.
Yes. So what we can encourage our SMEs, those who are listening to us now and those who are outside there, please join when we call upon for workshops which are coming up for the SMEs. Please don't hesitate. Join, come, drop a mail to us to nqi@kebs.org, and we will talk to you and guide you on how to come up.
All right, great. Now, before we finish, I'd like us to talk about what you believe are the key achievements of the National Quality Institute over the years, because you've been around since 2008, about 13 years. What are the benefits that you can enumerate, or the key achievements that you can enumerate for the NQI?
There are so many benefits, achievements that we can say as NQI. We have grown the number of trainings. We began with very few trainings, and by 2019 when we were still doing full physical trainings, we had grown almost 370
Per year.
trainings per year, per annum. And even with this corona, we are doing so many trainings also online, virtually. We are doing many trainings virtually. So what I can say is that many people have come to understand the importance of quality, and they have come to embrace the trainings. And through that embracing, others have even increased. They get to be trained more than one training. We never used to have integrated management system, but now we have even organizations which have integrated up to 4 standards.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're doing a lot of training online.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Now, in order to do that, we need to have good capacity at the NQI.
Yes.
What is your training capacity? How many trainers do you have?
Okay, currently we have over 60 active trainers. We have over 60, and these are for diverse. Each trainer is capable to train more than one system.
Okay, so then so you have trainers of different competencies.
Correct.
How do you develop capacity? How do you develop the trainers? How do we make sure that the caliber of trainers at the NQI is high and is maintained as high?
Thank you. You see, being in a dynamic world, we always try to up our game so that we can be able to move with the trend of the world. So we train the KEBS staff. We always get a training program from the HR department, which we have for annual, which we implement along the KEBS departments. So we train them on implementers. We take them through. And then we train them on training of trainers based on that requirement. And they do a presentation. They have to be assessed before they become trainers. After they succeed, then we have to attach them to work with experienced trainers. They observe maybe twice. A third time, then we have them train, get them assessed that on the job they can be able to deliver. And all the time they go to train, we normally have a link where we want to hear from the recipients. So the participants give us feedback through how the trainers were, through evaluation. And if we find that is where a trainer is not doing well, because it comes to my desk, I normally call a trainer one-on-one. We look at the weaknesses which the participants indicated, and the person changes. The next time you find the person has improved.
What if you don't pass at the beginning? Not everybody is a trainer.
Okay, when you don't pass at the beginning, there is always a second chance. The person is told to go back again, maybe to look at the standard, and then they get evaluated again. If they don't make it, we have so many of these people who have gone through it, but they become auditors, and they serve at our certification department as auditors if they can't train.
Oh, so
yes.
If you can't train, don't give up. There are other things that you can do.
There are other things you can do. You can become a very good auditor.
I'd like to give you an opportunity, Dr. Mokamba, to sell the upcoming webinar. I think you've been having a lot of webinars.
Yes.
And I'll give you an opportunity to say which is the next one, what date is it, how much does it cost, etc. So if you could just go ahead.
Thank you so much, Carol. Thank you so much, viewers. I want to bring to you the webinar program which we are having on 19th of April on remote audit. I know many organizations, they suffer on how to audit because now they cannot meet physically. We want to take you through on how you can audit virtually without interacting with the person one-on-one. We will charge you zero money.
Oh, so it's free.
Yes.
Now, I have a quick question on that webinar. Is this webinar just for external auditors, or can we also use it for internal audits?
We can use it for any audit, both external and internal.
Which means that if you have your internal audit program for 2021 and you haven't been able to audit because of social distance and working at home, you could actually audit your colleague when they are at home. And you're at home,
yes,
and you're just exchanging documentation over the internet.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And so it gives you a relaxed time. You can agree with the auditee when you are going to audit.
Like in the evening.
Like in the evening.
So that's what we're going to be talking about on 19th.
Yes.
What's the time of the webinar?
It is from 9 to 11. Please don't miss.
Okay.
Don't miss the opportunity.
I'm sure that webinar is advertised on the KEBS website.
Yes, yes.
And that it's free, and therefore free. Everyone who wants can join it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Are there other free webinars?
Yes, we have other free webinars, and they have already been put on the website.
On the website?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see if there are any other questions on Facebook and on Twitter. We've answered the one on jobs. The one on certificate of analysis, I assume, Shabir, you were talking about a certificate of analysis of products so that you can stimulate growth. That we will get a response from. And I think we have answered all the questions. Some have already been answered by our team, but those ones that have to do with National Quality Institute, we have asked. We have answered them here. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Barnabas Apuacho. Thank you, Jane. Zedicho. Thank you, Shabir. Thank you, James. Thank you, Derito, and everyone else who is watching us on Facebook Live and who is participating in our conversations on Twitter. I'd like now to ask Dr. Mokamba to give us a parting shot. What is it that you would like people to know now concerning the NQI, and how can you encourage them to participate in the activities of the National Quality Institute?
Thank you, Carol. Viewers, I would like to say that an opportunity comes with an expiry date. Right now, because of this corona, we have so many webinars which we are putting, which are free, and many other trainings that we have put at a subsidized rate. The trainings which we do virtually, we don't charge them as we charge the physical ones. Please grasp this opportunity and get trained. Get connected with the right institution. So we welcome you that when we advertise our programs, please grasp that opportunity, and in the process get certified so that you can be able to compete with the bigger organizations. We want to welcome you, and in case of any query, please drop us a mail and we'll respond to you. See you in our trainings. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mokamba, for giving us insight into the National Quality Institute. It's been very interesting, and I'm sure that there are people who are now interested in participating in training sessions. Please remember that next week we shall be talking to the Director, Human Resource and Administration, Mrs. Nelly Mulema, who will be talking to us about recruitment, training, development, internship at the Kenya Bureau of Standards. I'm sure it's of interest to many of you. So welcome, and let's see you there. My name is Caroline Otogweno. I've been your host for Ask KEBS.